Here.
Mr. Domark,
Here.
Ms. Lever,
Here.
Mr. Martin,
Here.
Dr. Morrell, Mr. Shuley, Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
6 board members are present. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Deb. Minutes are approved. Next, we will move on to the confirmation of CEO approvals. The CEO approvals for projects have been confirmed. So we'll move on to reports and updates, starting with the Finance Department.
Morning, PWSA Board of Directors. Hope everyone's doing well. Within the finance report, you will see that total year-to-date receipts through May 31st, 2023 totaled $82.9 million, or about 40% of the total budget for the year. This was led by PWSA's water, wastewater conveyance, stormwater, and discharges, which have all experienced stronger than expected receipts through the first 5 months of 2023. Those charges totaled $81.2 million as compared to the $75.7 million that was budgeted to date. Total forecasted year-end receipts, inclusive of the rate stabilization fund, are $212.2 million. This represents a $5.6 million or 2.69% increase as compared to the budget for year-end. Year-to-date departmental operating expenditures so far through the year are $41.6 million. That is $12.9 million lower than budgeted. However, we do anticipate an uptick in those expenditures as we progress through the year. $36.7 million in total debt service has been paid, excuse me, year to date, which is 48% of the total budget. In addition, PWSA's cash balance as of May 31st, 2023 was $90.7 million, which is $15.2 million higher as compared to this point last year. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about some recent transactions that PWSA has been a part of. Earlier this month, PWSA completed a successful municipal bond offering whereby over $1 billion in orders were received to buy $276 million in bonds being sold. This oversubscription helped to drive down the interest costs for those offerings. Of the $276 million that was sold, about $110 million was used to fund PWSA capital needs. The remaining $166 million was used to refinance 3 outstanding bond series, which included the termination of 1 of 3 outstanding swap derivatives. So it was really a de-risking strategy in addition to savings. All in, this refinancing will save ratepayers between $400,000 and $700,000 per year until the bonds mature. Last, but certainly not least, I am happy to report that PWSA recently received a credit outlook upgrade to positive from Moody's Investor Services. This is the second time in the last 4 years that Moody's has upgraded the outlook, putting PWSA on the cusp of receiving a rating upgrade in the near future. Moody's, they cited considerable financial improvements and strengthened internal management structure as some of the primary drivers for that upgrade. It is at this time that I will turn it back over to the board for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Barca? Any comments?
Just that it's a great report. Congratulations on the upgrade.
Thank you.
Yeah, likewise,
Excellent.
congrats on the retiring some of the debt swaps.
Yep.
That was a fine explanation you offered us a while ago on that upcoming.
Yep. A long time coming. I was very satisfied. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the engineering department report and update.
Good morning, members of our board. This morning, I'll begin with an update on our drinking water program. Lead service lines continue to be replaced through our active small diameter water main replacement and our lead service line replacement projects with a total of 10,210 public and 7,116 private side lead service line replacements completed between 2016 when we started and yesterday, June 22nd, across all of our contracts, as well as what we've replaced through operations. Projects continue on the design and construction efforts for the water reliability plan. Construction continues on our Rising Main 4 rehabilitation, as well as the Highland Reservoir Supply and Rising Main project in Highland Park. Design and permitting efforts continue on the balance of our water reliability plan projects. As for procurement activities, note that several bids are anticipated to be going out for advertisement in July. These include the Highland Reservoir Pump Station project, one of the largest projects, singular capital projects for PWSA in several generations, as well as 2 large diameter sewer rehabilitation contracts. With regards to our stormwater program, the engineering department would like to thank everyone who participated in one of the 6 stormwater conversation community workshops that were completed throughout the city. As a reminder, the public comment period for the stormwater strategic plan is still open through June 30th, 2023. This concludes the engineering and constructions board report. I'll turn it back over to the board for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. King? Seeing none, we will move. Thank you for the report. We will move along to the Chief Environmental Compliance and Ethics Officer report.
Right. Good morning, everyone. So we're moving right through these pretty quickly this morning. So this morning, a little bit different report that I wanted to provide you, reflecting a little bit on some of our strategic initiatives. As part of PWSA's strategic vision, we've actually identified 3 strategic priority areas to help guide our work. This week, actually yesterday, got to participate in a monthly management session in-house that our Human Resources Department has developed. And during that training, it kind of challenged me to discuss with my peers which strategic priority area stood out to me and how it really related to our department. So this morning, I just thought it was relevant to maybe share with you briefly a couple of ways that the environmental compliance and ethics is integrated with PWSA strategic priorities. So the development of the environmental compliance and ethics program really set into motion an organizational wide shift, helping support strategic priority area number 1, which is to optimize our organizational capacity to position PWSA as a best-in-class utility. We've achieved this really thanks to the commitment of both the board and our CEO to help develop and staff our environmental compliance department, which you all know just a couple of years ago didn't even really exist. We've also received national recognition through presentations that we've been able to make on our environmental compliance and ethics program to our peer utilities at conferences such as the Association of Metropolitan Water Agencies, as well as the American Water Works Association, where Will and I just last week had an opportunity to present on our program. The strategic priority area that I feel the environmental compliance and ethics program has provided the most impact is probably priority number 2, which is building PWSA's reputation as a trusted service provider. This is really embodied in one of our core values, which is ethics and integrity. And our definition itself of ethics is really based around trust, which is part of that core value or part of that strategic initiative. Ethics represents PWSA's commitment to act independently, impartially, and responsibly without conflict of interest in the best interest of the authority and our ratepayers. Ethics intends to preserve public trust and help promote public confidence in our operations and help enhance the efficiency of the authority. This concept of ethics is part of our annual environmental compliance and ethics training, which is currently in progress for all staff at PWSA to have that training annually, and is also included in all of my project-specific trainings that I conduct with our consultants and contractors. And recently I've just conducted, I think, 2 or 3 of those over the last couple of weeks. Each of our strategic priority areas also has 3 supporting values. And one of those for strategic priority area number 2 is to educate the public about the safety, quality, and the value of our water, sewer, and stormwater services provided by the authority. Really like to take a minute here to thank you, the board, for providing the opportunity for finance, engineering, and myself to give these brief updates each month. I believe they hopefully not only keep you informed of what's going on, but do help to further educate the public about our efforts to continue to build our reputation with them as their trusted water service provider. So that's my report here for this week. As always, I tell everybody they're happy to reach out to me if you do have questions on compliance or ethics concerns. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Sidari?
Just one comment. Congratulations on the great work and the recognition nationally at the conference.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll note here, as I've said before, the culture shift that has occurred within PWSA and its staff would not have been possible without your work and the work of your team and the cooperation of those around you. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to the Chief Executive Officer's report.
Thanks and good morning again, members of the board, members of the PWSA team, and those tuning in online. I want to begin my remarks by thanking the many of you that joined PWSA and an all-star roster of local and national leaders out at Highland Park earlier this month to recognize our first ever WIFIA loan award. That loan is for $52.4 million, and it's the first for PWSA. It's actually only the second WIFIA award in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. A major achievement. There's limited time during remarks at an event like that, but definitely wanted to make sure to thank Ed Barca and his team for what was a multiple years long effort to get us into the door for this program. $52.4 million is a lot of money, but we're pairing that with hundreds of millions of dollars that Ed and his team have secured through Penvest to advance our water reliability plan projects, which, to put them all into scale, will total, we believe, when completed in about 5 years, $500 million on those projects. So my congratulations to Ed, working very closely with Barry's team to develop all of the administrative work needed for us to secure that, but a really proud moment for the organization. And thank you all for they were able to make it, for taking time out of your day to join us. I also, our water projects get a lot of attention. Our lead service line program has garnered a lot of attention, justifiably, but there is a lot going on at PWSA every day across all of our departments. As Barry mentioned, we're strong at hand developing a strategic plan for stormwater management. We are innovating and providing new opportunities for our customers to use technology to either pay their bills or learn about their water use. Our public affairs team is putting on great events like the one that they did in Highland Park, but also continually providing educational materials. And our operations team is 24/7 out in our system, repairing and maintaining our system. And we do have, if you're interested in some of the specific metrics, we have a really great annual look back for 2022 that highlights some of those areas. But we have copies for the board. It is available online. I encourage anyone interested to take a look at that, just to put in scope everything that we have going on here. The construction projects are awesome in terms of scale, but day in and day out, we really have a dedicated team here. As Frank mentioned, we went to the AWWA, which is the National Drinking Water Group Conference in Toronto earlier this month. And we were really proud to present our ethics and compliance programs to those who joined the session. But for me, the takeaway was one that signified the progress that we have made. In years past, I spent a lot of time watching presentations and saying, man, it would be great for Pittsburgh to have something close to this. In the sessions that I attended, oftentimes I was thinking to myself, we're doing that, and we're doing that maybe in perhaps a more intelligent way, or we have a different way of looking at it. And especially with lead service line replacement, we remain a leader. The large cities were there, presented on their programs, and there was not an element of their programs where I didn't feel we couldn't compete or didn't have a better approach. So for that, I do want to thank our board of directors, past and present, for the leadership to get us to the point where we can really compete with our compatriots across the country. And we know we have more work to do, but we're going to continue to improve. I am marking my 3rd year as CEO this month. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I continue to be humbled with the responsibility. I love this job. I love our team. And I want to thank you all for giving me the ability to continue to serve. So with that, I'll wrap up my remarks and happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you. Any questions? Any comments?
Thank you.
Well, great report, and we're all fortunate to have you at the helm of this organization. So thank you for your continued service. Right. Wrapping up the reports and updates, we will move on to resolutions. We will begin with resolution number 39 with Mr. McFadden.
Good morning. Resolution number 39, approving the amendment of a professional services agreement for catch basin cleaning to Evo Eco LLC. This is out of the operating budget for $223,000.
I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Abstain, opposed? No, resolution number 39 is approved. Resolution number 40. Mr. King.
Resolution number 40 is a request for the board's approval of a change order of a professional services agreement under our capital program for construction management and inspection services for our 2019 large diameter water main improvements project, the Rising Main 3 and 4 rehabilitations, to AECom Technical Services Incorporated in the amount of $199,708.95. This change order specifically addresses increased costs that are related to both an owner-directed change whereby additional rehabilitation and CFRP lining scope was added to the project to address some of our manheads and completion of the full lining, as well as a change to the execution of the contract work under Rising Main 3, where the original bid was based on having a single shift, whereby the contractor employed multiple shifts to be able to get the work done in a timely fashion. So the CMCI services had to be out there, obviously twice as long on certain days. So staff recommends that the board approve this request.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Mike Domo.
Thank you. Second,
Second.
any questions on resolution number 40?
Barry, when you said the two reasons for this, are there things that were not, you couldn't anticipate?
So there was-
When you get in there, you see things that maybe you hadn't seen on the front end?
Correct. There were elements of the work that were additional, and an additional manhead had to be installed. So you had additional lining that had to be extended to ensure that you had complete water closure. So no potentials for leaks down the road. So these were things that we didn't anticipate during the design phase.
Thanks.
Further questions? With that, all those in favor of resolution 40, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? The resolution 40 is approved. Resolution number 41. Mr. King.
Resolution 41 is a request for the board's approval to award a capital contract for the construction of the 2023 urgent lead service line replacement program project to Stefanik Next Generation Contracting Company in the amount of $3,246,460. This is a 2-year contract that will allow PWSA to offer private side lead service line replacements at locations where PWSA's operations crews have replaced a public service line due to an urgent issue like a service line leak. Providing this contract allows PWSA to meet the PUC requirements related to not conducting a partial lead service line replacement, as well as PWSA's policy for lead service line replacements. Staff recommends the board approve this award.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Second. Thank you. Are there any questions on resolution number 41?
I have one question. Just, is this a new contractor?
Yes, this is one that we haven't seen before. So it's, again, another positive step in expanding the depth of resources and contractors we're using.
Oh, thank you. And just one thing, just an edit, the bid proposal due date is after the date the pre-bid was made.
Okay.
Just, yeah,
That's
just
good.
that thing. But no, thank you. That's very good news.
Other questions, comments? All those in favor of resolution number 41, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution number 41 is approved. Resolution number 42, Mr. King.
Resolution 42 is a request for the board's approval to award a capital contract for the construction of our 2023 sewer reconstruction project to A. Moranti Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $1,829,738.90. This project is an annual indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity, or IDIQ contracts that address reconstruction of the public sewer system, including our storm, sanitary, and combined facilities. The project scope for this particular project is the relay of the sewer on Ronan Street in Lincoln, Leamington, Belmar neighborhood. Staff recommends that the board approve this award.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Mike
Thank-
Dolmark.
Thank you. Any questions on resolution number 42? Seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number 42, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution number 42 is approved. Resolution number 43, Mr. King.
Resolution 43 is a request for the board's approval to award an amendment of our professional services task order for the final design of the South Side Park project to Ethos Collaborative in the amount of $243,049.62. The South Side Park Improvements Project is a collaboration between the City of Pittsburgh, Department of Public Works, and PWSA. It's in the M16 sewer shed. PWSA is providing stormwater management for the proposed phase 1 of the park improvements plan based on the South Side Park Master Plan by the City of Pittsburgh. The phase 1 improvements will include park amenities to be designed, constructed, and paid for by the City of Pittsburgh. PWSA will only be paying for our infrastructure, just to make that clear. This task order amendment is necessary for PWSA's completion of the final design and the final construction documents, as well as the funding of the design and engineering services during construction. Note that the added costs relate to delays that have occurred since January of 2021 that were necessary to accommodate the design and construction of the separate 2021 large diameter sewer project. That was the one I referenced was going out for bid, as also located within the South Side Park's limits, as well as obtained a joint permit application from the PADP as well as the Army Corps of Engineers. These delays in the project have resulted in the change in site conditions, which have required us to go out and reperform surveying as well as grading and stormwater design revisions for the project cost estimate revisions and permitting revisions. Staff recommends that the board approve this amendment.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move to amend.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions or comments on resolution number 43? I'll just ask, is this related to the projects that have occurred over the years leading to and on East Carson Street in any way, or is it completely, I realize all of our infrastructure is connected in some way or another, but is there some sort of connection here, direct connection? in the
It's not a
project?
direct connection, but it is related to that ultimate pass through.
Okay,
So-
okay, thank you.
Is this down on the riverfront, correct?
Correct.
Seeing no further questions, all those in favor of resolution number 43, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution number 43 is approved. Resolution number 44.
Resolution 44 is a request for the board's approval to enter into a cost-sharing utility relocation reimbursement agreement, as well as the board's authorization of the chief executive officer to sign the agreement on behalf of PWSA. This agreement is with PennDOT for their State Route 4003 A25 resurfacing project, which will impact PWSA's infrastructure along that route. This work will be funded from our capital budget. PWSA will recover 75% of these costs per the cost share with PennDOT. The only exception relates to installation of round valve boxes where we have existing square ones. that's a betterment with regards to PennDOT. So the total construction cost is anticipated to be $14,213.44, of which PWSA will be responsible for $8,813.44. PennDOT is requiring this formal agreement and resolution that must be signed by the board or their designee, and that's why such a small level of a request is coming to you today. Staff recommends that you approve this agreement as well as directing the CEO to sign it.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments about resolution number 44?
Yeah, I have a quick question just in general. How often do we do cost shares with PennDOT in this way?
It's a couple of times a year that we run into these projects. Anytime their work and our work overlaps.
Seeing no further questions or comments, all those in favor of approving resolution number 44, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution number 44 is approved. Is there any further business for the good of the order? Seeing none, motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
So moved.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.